Have you ever stumbled upon an old gadget in your attic and chuckled at how outdated it seems? We've come a long way, haven't we? Our tools and tech just keep getting snazzier with each passing decade. But here's a twist. Not every ancient creation got the memo that they're supposed to be primitive. I mean, there are artifacts out there that could give our 21st century inventions a run for their money. And no, I'm not pulling your leg. Some relics are not just advanced for their time. They seem like they've time-traveled from the future. So buckle up, because we're about to explore some mind-boggling ancient relics that are leagues ahead of their era. Number 1, Damascus steel. Imagine a sword that seems almost alive with history. Its blade etched with patterns that tell of ancient craftsmanship. That's the mystique of Damascus steel. Born in the Middle Eastern crucible of innovation during the 9th century, these swords are a marvel, eternally sharp, always ready for battle. Unlike their European contemporaries, Damascus blades were the superheroes of their day. Forged with techniques that were state-of-the-art, their resilience and cutting ability were unrivaled. They didn't just cut through the air. They cut through the pages of history, becoming the icons of legends. The sword's namesake is the storied city of Damascus, a hub of ancient innovation. But it's not just the birthplace that makes these swords special. It's the mesmerizing water-like patterns on the steel, as unique as fingerprints. These ripples, the Damascus twist, are not just decorative. They're a testament to the ingenuity of the smiths who made them. Now, how did they do it? Imagine the meticulous process of melding wood-steel. Think of it coming from the far reaches of India, Sri Lanka, or Iran. The steel was combined with charcoal, then expertly cooled, creating not just a weapon but a work of art. This wasn't just a sword. It was a lifeline, holding its sharpness even through the grittiest of battles. Sadly, the secret of making true Damascus steel has been lost in the sands of time. We're left with only echoes of the original mastery. Modern bladesmiths can mimic the look, but the exact science, the magic behind the original Damascus steel remains elusive. These blades were more than metal. They were a blend of art, science, and mystery, making them invaluable relics of a bygone era. As we continue to unlock the past, the story of these legendary swords is far from over. They remind us that some histories are so sharp they never dull. Number 2, Greek fire. Let's journey back to a time when the Byzantine Empire's might on the seas was unrivaled, all thanks to a substance that seemed to defy reality itself, Greek fire. It wasn't just any weapon. It was the medieval equivalent of a flamethrower, a nightmare for any wooden fleet daring enough to challenge Byzantine dominance. Picture a substance that could ignite the surface of the sea, its flames hungrily consuming anything in their path. Water couldn't douse it, and panic was the usual response. This wasn't ordinary fire. Greek fire was special, a concoction so potent that its recipe was a secret as closely guarded as the empire's crown jewels. Only a trusted few knew how to create this fiery terror, and they held their silence as fiercely as any warrior held their sword. Despite the best efforts of scholars and historians, the exact mix of ingredients that gave Greek fire its persistent blaze has been lost in the shadows of the past. What's left for us are the echoes of its legacy, tales of how the fire seemed to come alive, clinging to enemy ships with a stubbornness that no ordinary flame could muster. The Byzantines had harnessed a piece of the sun's wrath, and with it, they carved their supremacy on the waves. In desperation, enemies tried everything to quench these flames, resorting to vinegar, sand, and yes, even urine in their futile attempts. The story of Greek fire is as much about power as it is about loss. The power of an empire to control such a force, and the loss of ancient knowledge to the relentless march of time. Now what remains is the legend, a testament to human ingenuity and the eternal flame of curiosity that burns within us. As we search for answers, the mystery of Greek fire continues to captivate our imagination. What do you believe was in this legendary fire? Number 3, Antikythera mechanism. Imagine a group of ancient inventors armed with nothing but raw ingenuity and the most basic of tools, creating something so profound that it could map the heavens themselves. Picture this. Over a century ago, divers off the coast of Greece were just hoping to find some good sponges, but ended up finding a puzzle that would stump the brightest minds for decades. Nestled in the wreckage at the bottom of the sea, they found what looked like just a bunch of corroded metal and rotting wood. But hidden within that mess was a set of intricate bronze gears that challenged everything we thought we knew about ancient technology. Fast forward through years of head-scratching and research that involved some serious high-tech imaging, and the true nature of this rusty puzzle began to emerge. Dubbed the Antikythera mechanism, this was no ordinary piece of history. The gears weren't just thrown together. They were a symphony in metal, an intricate composition that played out the movements of the stars and planets. By the 1970s, the consensus was inescapable. This was an ancient Greek machine designed to predict celestial events, a handcrafted embodiment of astronomical knowledge that predated Christ. It wasn't just ahead of its time, it was like a visitor from the future, offering a glimpse into the cosmos long before the age of telescopes and satellites. Today, the pieces of the Antikythera mechanism are like a conversation with history, showing us that the people of the past were capable of understanding and capturing the complexity of the stars in a device that fits in your hands. The surviving fragments continue to be a source of wonder and mystery as modern scientists decode its gears and dials, uncovering the lost ingenuity of those ancient astronomers. They crafted a cosmic clock that does more than just tell time. It tells us a story of human brilliance, echoing across the ages. Number 4. The Hufeng Didongyi. Embark with us on a journey back to ancient China, where an invention far ahead of its time first emerged from the mind of a genius. Picture a land frequently shaken by the Earth's hidden fury, inspiring one man to create something that would stand as a testament to human ingenuity. This was the home of Zhang Heng, an individual whose brilliance illuminated the Han Dynasty. Zhang Heng wasn't just any thinker of his time. He was the brain behind the Hufeng Didongyi, a name that translates to a seismoscope. And this wasn't just any device. It was a marvel that would capture the essence of an earthquake before the ground even whispered its approach to the unsuspecting. Crafted nearly 2 millennia ago, this intricate apparatus wasn't merely functional. It was a work of art. Envision a grand copper vessel, embellished with the awe-inspiring shapes of dragons, symbols of might and mysticism in Chinese culture. Each dragon's mouth held the key to unlocking the secrets of the Earth's movements. Below these majestic creatures, copper toads sat with open mouths, ready to catch a clue that an earthquake was coming. The genius of the Hufeng Didongyi lay in its simplicity and its precision. When the earth would start to shudder, this ancient device would spring to life. A slight tremor was enough to disturb the equilibrium, causing the dragons to sway and drop a ball into a toad's waiting mouth, pointing out the direction from which the disaster was unfurling. This wasn't just a tool, it was a lifeline, offering a warning that could save lives. Imagine the value of such an invention in a time where the natural world was full of mysteries, often perceived as an unfathomable puzzle. While the exact workings of Zhang Heng's seismoscope remain partly veiled in history, the purpose and impact it had are clear. The ability to predict and prepare for earthquakes was, undoubtedly, a monumental leap for civilization. As we piece together the past, Zhang Heng's legacy offers a question. How might we use the power of observation and ingenuity to better understand the world we live in today? Let's discuss this further in the comments and see what modern parallels we can draw from the Hufeng Didongyi's ancient wisdom. And if you've enjoyed unraveling this piece of history, consider joining our journey through time by subscribing for more adventures in knowledge. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. Take a moment and picture this. An ancient Greek shield, worn by time, surfaces from the depths of a long-sealed tomb. Now, this isn't your run-of-the-mill artifact. What's throwing everyone for a loop is the carving on it. An image with eerie glowing eyes, something that looks like it jumped right out of a sci-fi series. It's tempting to slap a label on it as an alien from our sci-fi-soaked imaginations, but hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Remember, we're peeking through a modern lens at an object that whispers secrets from an age long past. Could this mysterious figure be plucked from the rich tapestry of Greek mythology? That's the tricky part. Even after poring over the myths, thank you, Wikipedia Deep Dives, there's nothing quite matching this peculiar visage. The shield's wear and tear tells us it's the real ancient deal, not something whipped up recently for a bit of intrigue. So what's the story here? Did the ancient craftsman chisel out a design that coincidentally screams alien to us 21st century folks? Or is it possible that the Greeks had encounters of the third kind, leaving us clues in metal and myth? It's a puzzle that's got us scratching our heads. What do you think? Did E.T. phone the Greeks, or is it a case of mistaken mythological identity? Chime in with your theories in the comments. Let's unravel this historical enigma together. Number 5. The Phaistos Disk. Imagine you're a detective in the realm of ancient mysteries, and in your hands is a clue from the distant past, a relic that has puzzled the sharpest minds for ages. This isn't just any historical breadcrumb. It's the Phaistos disc, a circular enigma carved out of clay, waiting for someone to crack its code. Now, let's take a closer look at this curious artifact. It's about as big as your palm and covered in strange symbols that spiral like a galaxy on its surface. These aren't just random marks. They were pressed into the clay with care, creating a pattern that seems to whisper secrets of a civilization long lost. Found amidst the ruins of the Minoan Palace on Crete, this disc has become a kind of celebrity in the archaeological world. Why? Because it's like the ancient world's version of an unsolved crossword, waiting for someone to fill in the blanks. What was its purpose? That's the million-dollar question. Theories about the disc are as plentiful as the stars in the night sky. Some say it might be an ancient document, detailing something significant to the Minoans. Others think it was used in religious rituals or even as an ancient board game. Imagine playing a game with pieces that held such mystery. Despite the efforts of historians and linguists, the disc's true story remains just out of reach. It's as if the Minoans left us this puzzle just to keep us guessing. The language etched into its surface is still undeciphered, locking away its secrets. It's a riddle that has kept its lips sealed to this day, urging us to keep looking, thinking, and wondering. As we ponder the Phaistos disc's cryptic nature, we're reminded of the countless wonders still left to uncover. It's a humbling relic that says, hey, there's so much more to learn. The quest to understand it is a testament to our own curiosity and our desire to connect with those who walked the earth long before us. This little disc with its unsolved symbols might just hold a piece of the puzzle of human history. Who knows? One of you watching might be the one to unlock its secrets. Until then, let's keep the conversation going. What do you think the Phaistos disc was used for? Number 6. Baghdad Battery. Step back in time with me, and let's unravel the puzzle of the Baghdad Battery. Picture this: an ancient ceramic pot, a copper tube, and an iron rod, all unearthed near the grand capital of ancient empires. Now, why is this trio of items causing such a stir among historians and tech enthusiasts alike? They've earned the nickname Baghdad Battery, and they've been kicking up dust in the world of archaeology ever since they were found near modern-day Baghdad. So, what's the big deal? Believe it or not, these pieces could fit together to create what seems like a primitive battery. That's right, a battery. It's like finding a USB stick in a stack of Roman scrolls. Totally out of place, yet fascinating. The burning question is, what was it for? Theories are bouncing around like ping-pong balls. Some say it might have been used for electroplating, kind of like an ancient DIY gold plating kit. Or was it a medical device for pain relief? Imagine that. A pinch of ancient medicine with a spark. Despite the debates, the how and why behind this potential power source remain wrapped in mystery. It's an extraordinary find that hints at a slice of history we haven't fully understood yet. This kind of discovery is like a wink from the past, telling us that maybe, just maybe, the ancients were onto something with electricity long before we thought. So here's a thought to chew on. If the civilizations of the Parthian and Sasanian empires were playing around with concepts of electricity, what other brilliant ideas might they have had? It's a nudge for us to keep digging and exploring, to keep that flame of curiosity blazing. As we ponder the secrets of the Baghdad Battery, don't forget to share your own hunches down below. And hey, if you're charged up for more electrifying tales from the annals of history, why not give that subscribe button a little zap? Stay tuned and stay curious, friends, because who knows what we'll unearth next.